Good morning. It's the middle of May. I thought it would be a good time to show you what's going on in my garden. These are last year's strawberries, and they're getting ripe. So let's take a walk. I have planted lettuce in this. Hopefully it's going to come up soon. I think it probably needs water. That's my owl that keeps the birds from eating my strawberries. I finally planted the lavender in this pot, and I've sowed some seeds of snapdragons around it. Ooh, and there's some might be coming up. There's something little tiny right there, so hopefully stuff needs to get watered. Anyway, the biggest difference out here is that I put this insect protection cover on top of the green stalk. In order to do that, I had to take the herb layer off. It needed this frame to hold it, and the sage is too high, but I'll show you where that went soon. More baby tomatillas, basil and parsley. There's nasturtiums in that, which I hope will grow. The turquoise pots have jalapenos. Here is my millions of volunteer tomatillas that I've got to get separated out. There's a lot of work that needs to be done, but just got to find the energy to do it. Yeah. Here is my Cox's orange pippin tree. It is getting lushly leaved out, so that's pretty nice. Bee balm, and over there is the Cortland apple, which is also got leaves but not as many. Yeah, it's doing okay. Lemon balm, and then my volunteer potato. It looks really good. I don't know what we're going to get or when it's going to be ready, but it looks very healthy. As you can see, the broccoli has grown. It's not producing yet or really bunching out, but it's definitely taller. Veronica, dill. My most exciting thing is I have beans. Hey, there's one. There's one more down there. Yeah, see? There's two so far. So I'm excited. I planted about at least a dozen. So, chamomile. Desperately lots of chamomile. So, if anybody wants some, I got more than enough. There's one of the cucumbers that I planted. Here's the tansy, which is spectacular looking. That I planted the last cucumber over here and put it with this trellis that I built last year. Tierney and I have been working on getting the peas up on the trellis. So far, they're growing quite well, but they don't want to grab on, which is funny.
They want to grab onto each other.
Yeah, they do that. They are planted very densely, but I wanted a lot. The yarrow looks like it's about to bloom, so that'll be pretty. The Swiss chard looks good. Nothing yet for melons, but as I recall, they take a little while. The chive blossoms are really pretty. I did get a second germander finally. It's almost as big as the one I bought last year. So we went last weekend to Merrifield Garden Center. Bought a lot of stuff, which you'll see. The garlic looks good. And here all the millions of volunteer ground cherries that need to be separated, planted somewhere else. This is lettuce. It's all moved to the same thing. We cut it back pretty hard a week or two ago, and it's already grown back quite a bit. It's all romaine, either green or red, because we like that better. Here is all of the new strawberries are in this one. I'm told that I should be taking the blossoms off. Roots, concentrate on growing roots. So I guess we should do that. We lost a bunch of last year's, and I think maybe that's why, because I did not pinch them back. I let them fruit. So yeah, just keep working on that. One of the biggest things that happened is we put up a new green stalk. And it's out here in the front, and this is where we moved the herbs. You see the sage is blooming quite well. And then in the planter, in the pockets, is we planted the French fillet beans, the Maxibel French fillet beans, which were my second favorite beans of last year. So looking forward to having those come up soon. This is Ben's Memorial Rose. It's blooming. These blooms are a little past their prime. I posted on Facebook a picture of the very first one that came up and how big it was, and it was so beautiful. And these were too a day or so ago. But Rue is blooming, and those are so interesting flowers. They look like they have a second flower maybe in the center. I don't know. They've never bloomed before, so this is a first for me. Kind of like it. The rose bush that we've had for about 25 years. Stephanie Hughes had it in her yard, so it's even older than that. And when she moved, she gave it to me. And we had it at our other house. And then when we moved here, we planted it here. And I can't tell you how many blossoms it has. There's a lot. And they smell so good. It's just a beautiful rose bush. It's a David Austin. I don't know what the variety is. We added some things because, as I said, we went to the garden center. This is the,
It wants to grow that way.
sea holly. Yeah, everything's leaning. I don't know why. The sea holly is about to bloom. The echinacea is blooming, and I think this is one that I planted seeds for last year. I think it's not the same as that one. That's the one I think Stephanie gave me, and it's red, I believe. It's not, or coral. It's not pink like that. The one I had planted was pink and green, so I think that's one I did. Tulips, yep. Those black tulips are doing odd things. The spurge is doing well. Tierney bought sedum, and it's doing great since we planted it over the weekend.
It looks like it has a bright green underside with the sun on it.
Yeah, it's pretty.
Yeah.
It's also probably partly.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's through the. It's because of the ball.
Still, it's cool.
I don't remember what the name of that one is.
Stone something.
So something. Okay.
It has a red. This one has a red flower.
Yeah. But that one is called Dragon's Blood. Yeah. See, and I think it really goes with this Asian lily we bought. And this one over here is called Blueberry, or Blueberry Pie. Do you remember?
Something like that.
Something like that. And it was so thickly packed in the one container that we were able to plant it in 3 different places. And it seems to be doing quite well. I also bought lantana and a scabosia, or a pincushion flower. It had not started to bloom yet. Nope. And then we bought another Veronica. This one is pink. The one down there is blue. We have been working on the main flower bed, and I'm really happy with the results. We have been weeding, and I know there's still some weeds, but it was like a carpet of weeds, and we've gotten most of that out. The purple leaf is penstemon, then behind that is bee balm. I've got a lantana that I'm gonna plant there. Behind it is a tithonia that I snapped the stem on, so it might die. But this weekend we're gonna take out the plant bench, pull up the black plastic. All that soil should be solarized, so the weeds should be dead, and then we're going to plant sunflowers. So it'll be a really pretty sunflower border against the house. I'm really looking forward to that. We took out the mulberry. You can see there's a big hole. Tierney dug it out yesterday. The lilac is done blooming, but it looks very healthy. I've been cutting back some of the oak leaf hydrangea to try to get some more space.
It is massive.
It is massive. So that's the big calla lily patch, and that there is an echinops. It's white. There used to be. What is that? What is what? This is a hydrangea.
Oh,
it's a limelight hydrangea.
It's just a regular hydrangea.
Yeah, this is a regular small hydrangea in the front, and then this is the massive oak leaf hydrangea in the back. I love oak leaf hydrangeas, so.
It is over 5 feet tall.
It is over 5 feet tall. So, but down here in the base of it, in the shade of it, there is acanthus. In the deeper shade are hellebores. And there are 2 ivory prints. Those have the darker leaves. And the one in the center with the lighter leaves is pink, though it was not identified by name. The oxalis, a shrub that I don't remember the name of, with the bright green leaves. It was much taller. It died back. I thought it was dead, but it seems to be coming back, so good for it. The butterfly bush has spread. It's fairly enormous. It is. They'll like it. This is hyssop. It's a blue hyssop. It stood the test of a couple of years, and then we have Harucha, Huchera, Heuchera, coral bells, whatever. The figs are doing pretty well. Need to get in there and pull weeds from around the base. We have chairs. We built them Mother's Day weekend. Got them from Hay Needle, I think, and got red ones for out here to have a place to sit. There's one over on the other side. So I haven't done anything here, though. I've left the volunteer tomatoes. I planted the tarragon here, hoping that it'll stabilize the dirt in the corner. There's the rosemary and the giant oregano. Nobody needs that much oregano. And clearly birds sit on this cucumber trellis and poop.
On your radishes.
On the beets. These are beets on this side. You can see that they're coming up. These are the radishes, and there are 3 different kinds, and they're all coming up pretty well. There's the cucumbers that hopefully will start growing. And then there are peas. There's one there, and one there, and one there. And they are all volunteers from last fall when I planted sugar snap peas in this bed. So we'll get some peas, maybe sugar snaps. The peppers look good. None of the seeds we've planted in here have come up, but we added a lantana for attracting pollinators. And then we have the one artichoke in the corner, which is doing okay. Hopefully it'll bloom this year. And we're pretty much This is pretty much the last thing right now is where the onions that we just planted last week. They looked pretty sad when I planted them, but they seem to be doing okay.